Okay, mic check, mic check. Should be able to see now. Here as well. Welcome, welcome. Mr. Blue here, TradePhantoms.com. Let me get this set up here. Good morning, good morning. Already a fairly interesting morning regarding trading. All right, I'm your guide, your host, Mr. Blue, right? November 21st, it's a Thursday, 2024. I'll spend about an hour, give or take, pre-market prep, go over some futures, S&P, NASDAQ futures, SPYs, Qs, SPX, and then maybe some gold, oil, futures, and we'll go over into some tickers. Today is earnings for NVIDIA, or last night I should say, was earnings for NVIDIA. Snow was another kind of company that also reported to John Deere. So a couple of things. I'm not in anything with Snow, but I'm in NVIDIA. So, okay, cool. Mr. Blue here, right? I'm your guide, your host, all that kind of good stuff. I'll kind of start this off with the backdrop of demand supply, right? Top-down approach, monthly, weekly, daily. All right, orange, yellow, blue. It's going to be the color code for this. This is a little cheat sheet, if you will, for the folks at Phantoms. All right, candlesticks bullish, location being most important, bearish, location being important, being most important of those said candlesticks. And then we get the liquidity map here. Always ready to go to deploy for reference. In terms of news, not much for the most part here today. But we do have, we just had, I should say, unemployment claims at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's already, 20-something odd minutes past that. So as always, how do the markets react and respond to that? Futures are up. You'll notice that in a moment. Coming into Friday, not really much. Flash manufacturing, big news announcements for the UK and the pound, the euro. So, for Forex traders, right? I love me some Forex as well. But yeah, diving in, I'll start this off with, I'll go to futures, but of course, but I think I mentioned this where we have a, impulsion, right, off of this move that we just had pre-election, or I should say after election, then we're on a pullback, right? So I think I'm on recording even on YouTube just regarding this kind of, how far are we pulling back from this new higher high segment? All right, was once a previous all-time high, broke, and right now we're using it as, demand support on the other side. Okay, so as the past couple of days, this is a daily time frame of SPY. I know I'm kind of coming at you really fast right now. But I just wanted to show you and illustrate that how we are coming down. We came down into this previous retest. I'm sorry, now it's a retest area on this side here. A nice little 50% correction too on this so far. And then the point that I'm trying to make here is yesterday was a pretty interesting day. It was a pretty whipsaw. It had a nice move down. Then we had a flush out in the afternoon up. Okay, and then we flushed back down. And then late day we flushed back up. So yesterday was a roller coaster, up down. But that was all inside of what's called a prior day high and low. So that was an inside day yesterday, right? Now, as we were dropping down, this is a daily time frame as mentioned, right? We have gap down here. Friday was a big down day, of course. All right, coming off the all-time highs. And since then, we've been really just going, being Monday, Tuesday, yesterday being Wednesday, of course, today being Thursday. Okay, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So far this week, we haven't really moved much off of the back drop of last week's little correction there, right? Mainly Thursday and Friday gave the nucleus of the correctional move down in here, okay? So the point that I'm trying to make is this, even though if this were to be the pivot low, okay, because pre-market quotes right now are up on SPYs, about 593, give or take. There's an unfilled gap right there that I made a reference point yesterday. That has to be filled, and if we were to open right now, that would be filled already. But the point that I'm trying to make here too is a 50% correction healthy? Are we still in a bull market? Okay, yes, we are, right? So this is why I stress the higher time frames so strongly, okay, because you have to know where you are on the bigger picture, right? So we pulled back. We had a couple of areas of interest down in here, okay? Even in futures at 58.88 level in futures, which you'll notice in a moment when I get to futures. All right, so this is still a fairly healthy little pullback here. Now we're going to make all-time highs. I'm not sure. Probably not going to happen today, okay? But I wouldn't be surprised one bit. So that doesn't mean that we're just going to come up in here, in one day's action. But I mean that could happen, right? There's a couple of shorts on the market that I could just see, just with people in general. And then if this market continues to rally, they're going to have to get short squeezed out again. So just be cautious of that. All right, but if I'm looking at the candles and the bars, as we talk about a lot when we have a bit more time, okay, going into today, okay, even though we have a gap up, already, these are bullish candles here, right? So even this green bar is overtaking or engulfing, I should say, the for the most part, the Friday bar, right? So we had an inside bar, then engulfing bar, then yesterday, VIX spiked really quickly. You had a nice short right off the open, okay, and then they had a couple of losses too, by the way, yesterday too. And then we closed. The point that I'm trying to make is we closed, and this is kind of a little bit of a hammer bar here. So this was once a red bar, okay, and then we closed up here back green with a hammer bar. So again, the bulls are trying to come back out and take back over right after that little correction to move right there, okay. And I can say the same thing for the Nasdaq, but let me go back to the futures. Let me go to futures and kind of go through the process. Oops, here. As normal kind of programming here. This was yesterday's action, by the way. Nice little short off the open here. Nice move. And then I ended up getting stopped out on this trade right here. Late day. This is when the trade room ended, but late day, cleaned up pretty nicely as well. We had some nice movement on that late day as well. Futures. Think or swim here. Okay, as always, got the S&P futures here, monthly, weekly, daily, as always, right? Monthly, weekly, daily, starting from the left to right. All right, I'll drill down to the smaller time frame. So I got the 60-minute time frame upper left, the 30-minute time frame lower left, 5-minute here in the middle, followed by the 2-minute here on the right. So multiple time frame analysis. Pop open the 60-minute time frame here. And first order of business, map out some of our what's called Globex traps. So you can see we are, futures are up. Okay, futures are up. S&P futures, right? Globex high being right there. Globex low being right here. Okay, this gray space in Thinkorswim is the overnight session. Okay, so yeah, futures are up 0.4% right now off the pre-market, right? Before the regular trading hours happens or opens, I should say. And we had a couple levels up here mapped out, right? Yada, 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 59, 55, came into this level here, great, okay? Gave a nice little correctional move, okay? That was yesterday's, nice little drop, okay? And then we had a couple aggressive levels this yesterday morning, 59.25, which ended up getting knocked out very easy because that was a bit more aggressive, okay? There's a note there. Okay, but that's yesterday, right? Yeah, we were getting short off that yesterday, right? Off the open, and then we had this 58.88 level that we were talking a lot about even last week on Friday, coming down in here, right? And it kind of tested it, okay, worked out, and then on Monday, Tuesday, okay, Tuesday, late, or I should say early morning. Right, early morning, we did, on Tuesday, we did flush out a little bit there. Okay, we did flush out a little bit there. And I mentioned that to the team yesterday in the trade room where we have what's called a red bar here, red bar. I don't know if you might be able to see it, but then we have this red bar here, okay? And then we had an inside bar, okay? This little green bar that's inside of this red bar right there, okay? And then we had what's called a flush, right? So this was once a red bar, but it came back in, okay? And it printed a hammer close. And long story short with that is because we have more time in the trade room when I have more time and I can explain things in more detail. But this is going to be important for what's happening right now today. Okay, this is what's called a fakey breaky. Okay, a fakey breaky. So we had red bar down, highlighted by this kind of darker colored here. Okay, all right, that's what's called the inside. Right, well, that's the mother bar. Okay, then we had one little green candle right in there. Okay, then we broke this. This was one, right? We broke the mother bar, but then we did not close below there, and then we closed back above. So it's called a fakey breaky, okay, on the daily time frame. All right, so inside bar, mother, fakey breaky. Okay, now we still did not break that high, okay, from Friday in terms of futures, okay, SPY and looks like Qs are, okay, but this is going to be a nice little potential formation here for in the event that the bulls really still do take hold and break this candle, okay, break that candle right there on Friday, November 15th candle, okay, so there's a little bit of a fakey breaky there also that's coming off of the rising 20 people moving average as well, okay, on the daily time frame. All right, so that's important to note because this, making a note there, you can make a note on your chart and just know like, okay, great, this right there, that little wick right here, and this whole candle right here, I'm on a 60-minute time frame, okay, but this right here is a fakey breaky bullish, fakey breaky up, okay, this is bullish on a daily time frame, okay, daily time frame, fakey breaky. All right. So again, anybody who sold short, down in here into demand, and now they're potentially getting faded out a bit more here right now, right? So that being said, let me bring you back to the current price action here. I don't know if anybody is long already futures. I am already long futures for the record because I'm long NVIDIA as well. I was thinking that I was going to just be wrong on NVIDIA today. It's actually coming. It's still actually in play. I'll get to that in a moment. But last night NVIDIA was like it was gonna look like it was gonna gap down. Then it kind of came back to break even. Then it looked like it was gonna gap back down. And then this morning, right now, last time I checked, it was a little bit. It was bobbing and weaving, but it looks like it's back up. So I'm already coming in long on NVIDIA right now. It's pre-market quote is up. This is why you always have to be patient, right? Yesterday this thing was trading right down here. It was like a 137 print. All right, but it's not over till it's over, right? So right now, yeah, slight gap up, no big deal. All right, but the point that I'm trying to make is that I was already long and I was like, I'm probably going to be taking a loss on NVIDIA earnings on that. So, it was easier for me to get long futures as kind of a hedge because I was expecting it to be a lot more in a loss for, again, said NVIDIA, right? So, hopefully, maybe some of y'all took this positive COG. In terms of a Globex trap, to keep it short and sweet, I mean, yesterday's low is right here. This was not the greatest level, but using the 58.88 as the nucleus of that level because that was the first time back over here, as we were mentioning not too long ago. There's a little swipe there. So the point that I'm trying to make is we break Globex low. Do I have demand below Globex low? That blue line right there is Globex low. The answer would be yes. The only thing with this is that this 58.88, this has been tested multiple times now. So this one you have to be a little bit more careful with, right? So this is kind of just the low range right now. If this market wants to continue its, after a big, 50% correctional move on S&Ps, okay, we have a couple of inside, rangy daily candles here, right? Not really breaking new highs, not really breaking new lows. Is today going to be breakout day? It looks like it. Okay, it might want to, but we still have to look up and left here for some supply, of course, in the S&Ps, which brings me up into this area here, 59.95. Okay, and then we have even number there, 6,000. So talk a little bit about putting your entry where people have their stop losses. I will not be surprised one bit if we kind of break 6,000, and there's a level in here, and there's a couple levels that you can lean against. To not only if you're long, take profit and sell to exit up here, okay, but you could maybe potentially pick off a Globex trap short, okay, coming into these levels up here. All right, I'm gonna knock this one out, the 59.85, okay, just because I want y'all to be a bit more conservative and come up here in the event that we do continue to rally. Okay, now there's some open space here. If you look up and left, current prices right here, there is some open space right here. So it's gonna be pretty interesting to see if futures can continue its push higher. Now, after a couple of days of a basing, right? This could give us a what's the word? Momentum, right? A push, right? After a period of rest and consolidation, builds up more steam, and then in the event that this thing wants to continue to rally, okay, we do have that little fakey breaky bar, as I spent a couple of minutes discussing that, okay, for a potential continuation rally, okay? All right, as always, don't be looking to buy highs, wait for pullbacks into, demand. There's VWAP right here. So you can see a couple of positive COGs, and 5 minute, the 30-minute here just gave us a nice little positive COG, but we could pull back a little bit here, right? So yeah, VWAP is what, 59.35, call it. Okay, so you might want to wait for a little bit of a pullback in the event that we get it. Okay, on the 5 and the 2-minute time frame, we're already in a fairly decent little pullback right there. So if you want to be a bit more aggressive, you can kind of lean against that little level right in there to play momentum. Okay. However, with the understanding, always account for a VWAP test. Okay. I always mention that with the team and the group here at Phantoms. Okay. That's down here at the 59.40 level down in there. All right. For a deeper pullback. And I think that is a 30-minute or a 60-minute. Well, not really. It's kind of just a breakout level here for a potential retest with VWAP rebalance right in there. All right. If you want to lean a little against this 30-minute time frame here, you can lean against this as well. 59.50, but it might be a little liquidity sweep here too. So there's some stuff lower. All right, if we pull back. NASDAQ futures, same thing for the most part. Monthly, weekly, daily, up, pulled back. I have this kind of weird illustration drawing here, I guess, up here. So here's NASDAQ on a daily time frame. Right, and I kind of like drew the whole impulse correction waves inside, right? And essentially what? Same thing, like we are here still on NASDAQ, right? We're here in this kind of red box, circle, I should say, right? So, meaning we're here, right? Slight gap up right now, outside gap, pretty interesting. There's an unfilled gap right here on NASDAQ as well. Okay, not quite there yet. But we already pulled back. Okay, now we're trying to do what? After a pullback, I can make this kind of blue here. Okay, after the pullback, right now, bulls are trying to do what? Trying to take it back over. Does that make sense? All right, so we'll see if that continues. 60-minute time frame NASDAQ futures. Levels mapped out, great, yada, yada, yada. All right. Globex high. Here. Globex low. Actually, by the way, yesterday we had aggressive level here, another little kind of aggressive level down in here. A bit of a better one, low range down in here. Swipe through that first one. That was a tough one there to try to grab. The momentum was just down. VIX was spiking, right? So we flushed out a little bit there. So you could see a lot of wicks down here, right? All right, so people who are like trying to red bar, short, getting spiked, getting faded back out, okay? They're in pain right now. Anybody who's short is in pain right now. Breaking out to the upside a bit, all right? Globex low here. All right, do I have demand below Globex low? I would have 20,410. That's already mapped out there for us, all right? Yesterday's low is right there. You can use that as a reference point, okay? But yeah, I would be careful with this level now, right? This has been tested multiple times, not a great level. Okay, to begin with, okay, you can see very wicky, right? Markets flushing, okay? So I'm not sure if we're gonna get down there today, but yeah, 20,410 would be the area that would be a bit more conservative, if you will. All right, Globex trap higher. Well, if we get higher, do I have a supply level right here? We do, right? Good morning, Ralph. We do have a base and a drop right here, coming in at what, 20,009, 20,900, give or take, 20,930, okay? Now, this is a level that was developed overnight, so I'm going to be a bit more careful with this level, all right? So therefore, if I want to be careful with an aggressive, that's be an aggressive Globex trap short, okay? But we can get a reaction out of this level here too, okay? Don't get me wrong. All right, but we have another level up in here too, and this is going to be closer to the daily supply with that highlighted in blue up here on the left, right? So, that comes in about 21,075, okay? And there's just levels on levels in here, so I'm not going to just, draw all these kind of lines in here, but you can refine in here. Of course, this is where we had a nice little drop last week going into Thursday and Friday. Okay. All right, so there's some stuff here. Daily mother bar high, 20,980. Let me check that out. 20, yes, sir, 9, yes. If sir or person, I see even sir, ma'am. Yeah, yes, person. I didn't catch the name really quickly there, but yes, this is that's a great point, right? So Friday this is the 11:15, right? Tyree, my man, he's correct, right? So this is that 11:15 Friday's bar, right? We had a nice little drop down, okay? And then we are inside bar of that. So the point that he's trying to make, okay, is yes, 9,000. I'm sorry, yeah, 20. I keep saying that 20,009. What is this? 80, right? 981. All right, is the mother bar high? Okay, so you can even make a note of that. $20,980. The commercials. It's really that bad. It's kind of annoying, right? The tube. This is taking way too much time. Good enough. 20,981, 20,981. All right, and so you can see there's a supply zone right above that, right? So it'll be pretty interesting to see. So I'd be careful with this 20,900. Okay, we can easily just tag the mother bar up in here. All right, on this momentum. All right. Again, same thing. If I spent entirely too much time on that little topic right there, but yeah, nice, beautiful tape so far. Pre-market, nice and beautiful, right? Kind of breaking out here. All right. So if I'm looking at the, go to at least the 30. Okay, do we have a couple of pullback levels that we can lean against, and even though we pull back a bit? Absolutely, right? So I'm on a 30-minute time frame now, and we have some stuffs in here, okay, in terms of some demand, okay, and that white dash line right there is a VWAP, okay, so always account for a VWAP test. Comes in about what, 20,000, give or take 20,000, 750, right? Nice even number there. Could this be a place to get long on a pullback? Sure. Okay. All right, if we get a pullback. All right, so we got some stuff down in here, right? All right, a couple of small levels up in here on the 2-minute time frame, but remember remember this is the 30-minute impulse basing impulse, so you want to line yourself up with some higher time frames here. So actually, this one's not too bad here, 20,777, right? So we got VWAP right there, so it'll be that'll be a nice little pullback entry to engage. Okay, gold. Gold futures, monthly, weekly, daily. Kind of drew some segments over here. 25.41, beautiful weekly level right in here. We kind of cracked this one up here, yes, albeit. All right, gold, needed kind of a steeper pullback. Okay, which we got one. So we talked a little bit about this already, like coming down, right? Coming down into that weekly red bar down. We had a hammer bar inside day 2 days ago. I'm sorry, on Monday. Was this Monday? Boom, nice green bar, positive COG closing. Is anybody surprised that gold is continuation rally to the upside? Probably shouldn't be too surprised, because again, the monthly, the weekly, the daily is the monthly and the weeklies, monthly specifically, is still up, right? And the weeklies cracked a little bit of a level of control right here, but we went lower, okay, to kind of rebalance at another next week level, okay, which was a better one down in here, right? We talked a bit about that, right? Got a little stretch there on the daily time frame outside of the deviation, 2 standard deviation, put in a little bit of a hammer inside bar, and now we're mean reverting back on the daily, right? So again, is this going to? It's kind of similar to the S&Ps and NASDAQ. Did this pullback, is it going to provide enough steam and edge to potentially, continue its macro bull bull picture, right? I wouldn't be surprised if we do make all-time highs. Okay, gold still seasonality-wise is still fairly strong as well. All right, going into the end of the year. But the point that I'm trying to make here, in short, is did this bigger pullback, leave some dust and ashes over here of supply that would need to get absorbed? The answer would be yes, right? So that's what we're coming into right now. Okay, we're coming into some drop-based drops on the daily time frame. Okay, coming up here, right? So that being said, if I drop down to the 60-minute time frame, we're just kind of mapping that out. So we have the the daily as in blue, closer up there. That's a drop, a basing, and a drop. Okay, right there in blue, and then we get all this kind of supply or refining inside of that daily or closer up into that daily supply. And that's why we have a couple lines here already, right? I had one last night or yesterday that I put in that 26.75. We kind of came up there, all right, tagged that little base drop right there. We got a little correctional move out of that. All right, but what's happening is we're getting a pullback down, okay? But the multiple time frame alignment is still trying to line back up to the upside, All right, now we'll see. We still have some stuff to absorb up here, right? Again, this is the impulse correction, the correctional leg on the weekly down here, highlighted in yellow, right? Down with that weekly demand zone, okay? Crazy, by 1 point, nuts, right? Weeklies, all right? Refining your levels, etc. Okay. The point I'm trying to make is, is there a Globex trap short? Well, the answer would be yes. I mean, be careful with that. I mean, but we are coming up into daily supply. There is the said Globex high. The Globex high itself is actually the level that I had pinned, 25.75. Okay, nice little drop down, no big deal. But we came back into demand, and if gold want to continue with its momentum and the trend of the week, I should say, should this level break? It should break, and we probably should just go higher. Right? Does that make sense? Okay, coming into some higher time frame daily demand potentially up here. So I got the 27.01. Okay, you can even refine up in here too. 27.20. Okay, probably some stop losses placed right there. The better one would be up here at like 27.30 because that is the demand. The supply level. Okay, that was a nice drop that really kicked off the bigger drop in gold over the past 2 weeks ago, what have you. Okay, so this one isn't even aggressive. I shouldn't even put that there. The aggressive ones are a little bit lower down here. So this one right here, 27, call it 32. This is a good one here. So this is not aggressive. This is a good location. So if you were to elect to get short, that would be, let me make this a bit more stand out-ish, if that's a word. All right, so that would be up there. Probably not going to happen today. All right. Globex trap low. If we were to break Globex low, you can see we're barely pulling back into some demand. Here's a Globex low. I mean, could we use this demand zone? It's not the greatest in the world, but that would be a Globex trap long down here. It's pretty simple. I'm not sure if we're gonna get down there, but we got a couple other levels, maybe small time frames up in here. So just be careful with that. All right, it might want to come down a bit and flush out. So yeah, this would be the Globex, potentially like a Globex trap, bullish. All right, in fact, there's one right there too. That's actually the breakout. So this one would be decent. Okay, it was the breakout right here, right? So is there a Globex trap long right here? Yes, would be the answer. Yeah, man, oh my God, MSTR. I mean, I'm happy as all heck right now with Bitcoin because, I'm just loaded up on it, right? We're about to touch, actually, today's a good day to take some profit on said Bitcoin. We're close to touching in on 100K, right? But man, MSTR is amazing. It's on a different, not even on a different planet. I think I was making a joke yesterday. It's creating its own universe, MSTR. So I should have been making a lot more money on Bitcoin with that play there too. I guess, it was sold puts, but there's so much more money to be made on the directional, more directional on that. So that's one that got away from me a little bit. focusing on NVIDIA so much, and it's like the NVIDIA party's kind of over. MSTR is like the new thing for now. All right, this is a bad, not everybody agrees with Saylor, what he's doing, but the stock's on fire right now. Taking advantage of the Bitcoin pump. All right, I'll save some time with oil, but I will say oil energy sector is trying to, get some juice going, but I've seen this before. And, the question is it going to sustain? Because the energy XLE sector, it is trying to rotate, sector rotation wise. It's on an uptick. Is that going to sustain and continue? Would be the ultimate question. Yeah, SPX clean. Yeah, MSTR is on. It's insane. It's insane. It's already been crazy, and it's even getting a bit more crazier. So typically when it's, you gotta be careful, because now if you try to FOMO and get into that, you can get hurt, especially something in MSTR. So just don't FOMO, fear of missing out. If it comes down, sell some puts. All right, but definitely heavy profit take. All right, I'll even take some profit with you folks here on live YouTube here. Bitto, iBit. All right, so today is a unload day. All right, new highs. So get out of some calls, get out of some sold puts. We got sold puts, sell some shares. Somebody's like, trying to short it at 100K to ride it way down. You can do that. You be careful with that though, right? Just because it's going to go to 100K doesn't mean it's just going to go straight down. All right, but yes, at some point, I would love and welcome it to come down so I can load back up. All right. All right, NVIDIA earnings. All right, cool. This is in play. It's in play. I thought I was gonna be a loser. God damn, you're such a loser, Mr. Blue. I thought this was going to be a loser. But yeah, NVIDIA pre-market quote 149, not bad. All right, we'll see. I got the 150 strike. I got the 150. Everything in gray. All right, these 162s need Jesus up here, but that's gonna be a tough one there. But the 150, the 155s, and decent play here. We'll see. Implied vol is going to take away some premium off of that, right? But we were getting in November 29, so it's less implied vol, and we were getting in down here on some of these things. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if we get above 150. I know there's going to be a little bit of a short squeeze up here above 150. We'll see. I mean, could we just gap up and then crap out for the rest of the day here too? Absolutely. All right, but hey, I mean, going into earnings, it was looking like it was going to be gapping down to 135, 140 yesterday evening. All right, and then not the case anymore. All right, we'll see. VIX down so far. All right, we got a VIX down sub 7%. All right, yesterday we had a little spike, kind of calmed back down. All right, FANG looking somewhat healthy. MSTR on a different unit in a different universe. Holy shit! I'm kicking myself in the foot because I was looking at. I mentioned this down here to the team. Anyways, so we gotta sell some puts in the event that this comes down. This thing is on fire. So this thing, be careful here. Move up, move up, move up. So this is getting it's getting too nuts here. All right. And then, using Bitcoin as a proxy, 100K, at the end of the day, psychological number. So just be careful. All right, if you're looking to get long, I'm not looking to get long up here. All right, sectors, everything for the most part, green, industrials, trying to lead the way a little bit, discretionary as well, trying to lead the way a little bit too. All right, VIX, map out yesterday's high, yesterday's low. Then I also want to map this out on the, so already trading below. So VIX down, market up. Yes, blessing, yes. So yeah, be careful with that. Now, MSTR is a different beast and different company. But yeah, be very careful with when you see a chart that looks straight vertical like that. Trader beware. All right, overnight high, overnight low in VIX. What's been happening so far on VIX all night, even right now as we speak? VIX is what? Down, 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 down. Right, so VIX down, market up. So you see futures are up, kind of breaking out in futures a bit to the upside, right, from the what we discussed. And then we got VIX down. If this continues to stay down, that could be more bullish for the market. All right, VIX. SPYs, pre-market quote. Basically 593.30s, essentially, right? Right at that, there's a gap down from Thursday, last week, I should say, last week, Thursday, up into Friday. So this was an unfilled gap. So we're going to be gapping up, and basically we're going to be filling this gap. Now today's going to be interesting, right? Because we're going to be gapping up, filling this unfilled gap, okay? And then that's going to leave a gap right in here. Y'all see what I'm saying? Right? So this is all going to be straight gap. Interesting, right? So just because we are gapping up does not mean that we're going to continue to go up. Now it is an outside gap because yesterday's close was here, okay? And then pre-market quotes here, so it's an outside gap, all right? So typically, you know, a gap fill would provide some kind of, you know, supply resistance because we have a gap down and we're coming up into it, okay? So, you know, we'll see how this plays out, all right? Could we fill the gap lower today? Could we gap up, fade lower, and fill the gap basically from, you know, yesterday's high, or I should use Tuesday's high and low because that's the mother bar, okay? So could we come down and potentially retest this area here and potentially fill the gap? Of course. Right? This is all going to be gap space here. All right, so as always, we're going to trade the tape when it opens. Okay, and then yeah, I mean, if that's not the case, if we gap and go, gap up and just continue to go, all right, you know, we could be filling up into this area here. No, typically what you'll do is, you know, in pre-market, you'll see pre-market, right? If you have your pre-market on, this trading here, right? Right, does that make sense? And it's going to be similar to, I don't trade the pre-market on SPYs and Qs. I'll just trade futures. Like I'm long futures, right? I'm actually long futures already right now. Actually, I should even just take a little profit on this. You know, then we pull back a little bit so I can reload back.
Order filled.
All right, but the point that I'm trying to make to answer your question is that, as you can see, like with a pre-market quote on SPYs, you know, it'll look similar to the S&P futures, right? It'll look similar to this. But to answer your question, if it fills it during the pre-market, I mean, yes, it's a tag, but typically what happens is the professionals trade the regular trading hours, right, where the volume and liquidity comes in. So typically, if you have that off, you know, it's going to be counted more from a regular trading hours standpoint versus the pre-market. Okay, does that make sense? All right, so yeah, it's filling it now on the pre-market. All right, but remember, you know, there's light trading right now in SPYs and Qs. The big banks, institutions volume is going to be coming in during regular trading hours. All right. So yeah, we do have some stuff in here. The daily high up here on SPYs. The next daily high is up here. It's just what, a random Thursday high right now, right? All right, and even if I go to a 60-minute time frame, I mean, do I have some little baby supply in here? Yes. All right, so this is going to be pretty interesting here. So right now, pre-market quote. So we'll see how the tape plays out. Qs extremely similar. Not as strong as S&Ps. There's the unfilled gap that needs to be filled. In short, Blessing, it matters more about the regular trading hours. The liquidity is not solid during the pre-market. So SPYs, it's filling the gap right now pre-market, yes, but volume and liquidity comes in more with the regular trading hours. So most traders, not all, but most traders use because I want to see the gap, right? I want to see the gap and if it's filled or not. If I have the regular trading hours only, it's going to show me, well, did it fill during the regular trading hours? No. Okay, so it's still unfilled, right? But if it tagged overnight, which sometimes it does, it's not. Less pro traders are looking at it. All right, Apple. That's not Apple. It's GLD. This is Apple. Kind of annoying. I'm not going to waste our time here. Do something. Apple hasn't been doing much for a long time now. Amazon, same thing as the market, new high here. Overall market made a new high here, pullback, retest. Yesterday was a decent little positive COG close. Oh, I'm sorry, Tuesday was. Yesterday we had just an inside day, hammer bar. We'll see how the tape lines up. It's not really shouting to me too much for the gap or a gap. Google, what does it want to do here? Google's almost getting a little annoying here. It's trying to work itself out. Today's gap, slight gap down, still inside. Yesterday, inside day. But we had a nice little green bar put in 2 days ago. Yesterday was an inside day, slight gap down, but still inside. So I want to be a little careful with Google. Tesla. I'm going to check the short interest on this. Let's see, still inside of this, so just be careful with Tesla. AVGO took a nice little trade yesterday. This is actually red bar, filled the gap yesterday. It was take a profit because it was short. Today we actually have an outside day gap, almost a little bit of a mortgage gap there in low range weekly location. So MSTR generally more weaker than the other couple FANG stocks there, but this gap today is going to be interesting. MSTR, spoke a little bit about that. Meta yesterday swiped last week's low, as always, a little bit of a hammer bar. AVGO. All right, so NVIDIA, we need a little bit more help there with that going up, if that is going to be the case. All right. But yeah, so still in the game. These are all the calls that I got. Still in the game. The ones from last week are the ones that are getting hurt the most. The 162s. But all the other ones, fairly decent. All right, not bad. I thought it was going to just be a complete loss. So we'll see in the video. Nice little pump. All right, cool. Get a quick peek at the internals. That's why I always say it's a long night with earnings. VIX still down. Could look like it was going to gap down yesterday. Advanced declines, positive 925, fairly up there. Pretty decent. Vol D, first print, very early, but it's up. All right, Tesla right out the gate. Could have an inside bar break on Tessie. Fairly interesting. I'm also long AMD. NVIDIA, there we go. One of the things that we could do too on NVIDIA is implied vol still very high. Well, not very high, relatively speaking. Could sell some puts to offset some of the delta. It's a little advanced though, so let me see if I can find a little something simpler. Amazon, Google not having a good morning. Google actually is breaking down below that green bar, mother bar break on Goog, bearish. So Google actually is breaking below. So bearish exposure would definitely be Google. All right, we can lead against this bar here. So long put Google, which is bearish. Let me see, I want to get a little more delta on this. So if I were to pick up, say, the at the money's 150, I'm sorry, 172, half strike, long put, Google. All right, looking to get this filled here right now, Google. All right, got for the 179, for the 172 half strike. So long put Google. All right. All right, you can see in the video so far, failure at above 150s there. Tesla's interesting. So far holding his green bar here. Inside day though. AMD already got some exposure on the video, too much. GLD up. All right, we got open interest, positive GEX, but so far for the day coming in on volume, slightly negative. S&P futures pulling back into its VWAP. It's at the 5940 handle. All right, so we gapped up into that, right, so that's filled, and they filled this gap now too. All right, just right off the open. Whew, took profit on futures, like perfect timing. All right, this thing gap up and crap down pretty aggressively, right? I'm gonna take some profit on Google here. All right, TP some Google. All right, sold some off at 243. All right, whatever, keep going. All right, so that drop happened fairly fast on SPYs. The videos is all over the place. All right, so a little bit of a failure up there on some of the FANG stocks. All right, that's a massive red bar that's getting put in right now on S&Ps very quickly. Let me see, GEX. This is heating up a little bit. That happened quick. So we got a VIX spike. And that's only continuing. I don't want to chase it too quickly. We are coming into some stuffs right in here. So just be patient. That happened very quick. So I'm just inputting the market data for myself, my brain. I mean, we are coming into some weekly VWAP. So and with something here, a little bit of some daily demand. So I don't not daily demand, small time frame demand. So I don't want to chase too. I don't want to chase too much, especially because I can't manage everything here with y'all on YouTube. But if we have a move back up, you know, because right now, right off the gate, you know, that's a pretty big move. It's a pretty big move down here. Now we have to make sure this is not just a flush out. Okay, so you know, keep an eye on VIX for sure. All right, if this spike has some what's the word I'm trying to use here? Sustainability. Okay, then we continue to fade higher on said VIX. That's going to give me a telltale clue sign that okay, we could continue to be going lower. All right. And everything basically failed. So like gap up, crap down. So snagged Google really quick because that's one of the weaker ones there, and it had a clearing its mother bar. So that happened extremely quick, huh? See S&P futures. Never say never. Came slamming right back into here. Right off the open. Yeah, for longs, I gotta be careful, right? Even just with that, even with that, right? So like right now, we're below daily VWAP. The thing that's annoying right now is we're on weekly and monthly, which is kind of annoying. But yeah, like right now, it's we're inside bar on like the small time frame too. I mean, you could work some long puts short here. Nasdaq is weaker. Nasdaq is weaker. But what I would do is, and what I'm going to do is, I can get short here, but with the intent that okay, we could come up and retest some VWAP, right? Does that make sense? So if I'm looking to get short now, I want to be a little bit light on it right now and then get some exposure if we continue to flush out a bit more. All right, but with the intention that okay, we come up to VWAP, I got to see how we respond here. So you can front side add on this. Right. So that being said, if I were to get long put, by the way, let me TP some Google here too. All right, nice. Got a 325. TP Timmy, take profit. That's why you say you never know what's going to happen. That's why you got to trade the tape. All right, so QQQs. If now we're just back in kind of mid-range of this week, right? So that happened gap up, but we gapped up and crapped out. We came right back in, so we rebalanced right back up. So again, if I wanted to get short, I want to get a light short right now, like a light short. And then limit into VWAP as we come up. Right, so if I do just tomorrow's expiration, November 22nd, so I'm not doing like zero DTEs to offset a little bit of theta. If you were to say pick up the, what's Q's trading like, basically the 502s. If you pick up say a 500 strike that's going for about what, $2, it's about a 38 delta. But I wouldn't do full size on this just yet, right? All right, because we're testing a VWAP, we're testing daily VWAP right now, or at least on SPYs. Right, does that make sense? All right, so could you limit in on this move here? Yes, right. So I'll get some of that right there. The 500 strike put, they're going for about what, $2, give or take. All right, got them for 199. Bot put. good enough. Oh, can't see that. All right, this is yesterday's madness. All right, now what we can do is, this is the low so far, right? So we could pull a fade view up right here. All right. Now, this could be wrong, right? This could be wrong. So we're on VWAP right now. All right, remember, we still bull market, right? So NASDAQ's a bit more weaker, flat on SPYs. All right, and so we're testing VWAP right now. All right, VIX calming down a little bit there. So, you know, that drop, I mean, all we did was come back into kind of yesterday's, range. All right, so we'll see. All right, if wrong, cut. So I'll give it some time and space there. Checking some internals. Advanced decline is still up on a green tick too. Vol-D slightly up. Vol-D on the New York Stock Exchange slightly up. S&P volume up. So VIX at that spike, but we're coming down off of that, right? So that's not right. If VIX continues to calm down, okay, and it gives that spike all back, that's not going to be good for the Q puts, bearish, right? As we start to potentially reclaim VWAP back up. Does that make sense? BTC 98K. Yeah, let me take some profit on that right now. I wanted to make a note live right here. So yeah, I'm gonna be taking some profit. Bitto up another 3.5% on IBIT and Bitto. So I'm gonna be selling to take some profit on Bitcoin here. All right. I have my TradeStation account right here, you know, just stock. Boom. Bitto.
Order filled. Order filled.
That's Bitto. And then I'm going to take some profit on IBIT as well.
Order filled. Order filled. Order filled.
All right. Just took my first vertical share. What did I accidentally do right? The question went away. I can't see it. All right, I'm gonna have to take some profit in my Coinbase account fairly soon as well. All right, so looks like that thing was just a quick little flush, right? As you can see, NASDAQ a little bit more weaker, but we got to close above VWAP right now. So that's on daily VWAP. So that's a thing. Tesla. Tesla looking decent. It's trying to go. Tesla decent. Man, NVIDIA just does not want to go above 150. AMD is just chilling. All right, so I like this little move here. So now, okay, so now objectively, all right, give it a little time and space. Now, if we get back above here, I'm just going to, because the challenge with this was we had just, it happened so quick that I just had one flush here, right? So, and so like it was hard to, were you going to put your stop at around VWAP and, you know, maybe putting it way up here might have been too much. But now that, okay, we have, I gave it some time and space, we'll see, we're back, you know, we're hovering at still around VWAP. All right, now we'll see if this red bar can get closed below it. And ideally I would want it to get below the fade VWAP too. These are from yesterday, so it's kind of annoying. The only one I'm really focusing on right now is the yellow one right there. But the point that I'm trying to make is if we were to snap right back above this, what's going to be right here, folks? My stop loss now, right? All right, for those long puts, bearish, or if you're short NASI futures. All right, I'm keeping SPYs kind of flat right now, just for indexes for right now. Well, let's see how this kind of sifts out a little bit here, right? So you can see all that negative GEX turned into positive. So we're actually in positive GEX, which is more stability, if you will. All right, so I still want to just be a little careful with this bullish exposure, though. ES. So where we are right now, folks, just here's the S&P. We're in the middle, right? So I know it's not what you kind of want to hear, but you know, are we still back in the junk of all this week? Give me a yes or no on that. So we're back at what equilibrium. So this is kind of like, in terms of a location, like you're in the middle of no man's land, kind of, right? Now we're gonna put things into perspective. What's the higher time frames? Monthly, weekly, daily is up, right? We have is up, okay. But we have first initial move down. We had a gap up, move swipe down, okay, and then we're just kind of rebalancing right back out, right? We're kind of just balancing out. So unfortunately, is the edge right now? The edge is not great. So you gotta wait. You gotta wait. Now I'm short some Qs because that's the weaker one. I'm trying to work on that. I'm trying to work on that. I'm trying to work on that. But on S&P futures and SPYs and SPX, I'm gonna stay strapped, right? I'm gonna stay ready to go. But right now we're back in the middle, right? We're just kind of back in the middle of basically like where we're at, okay? And where we've been for the week, right? The only advancement that we really had this week was that upward gap up there. All right. So far. so you can get a close below that fade view up there. NVIDIA breaking my heart a little bit. If those options are going to be a loss, which looks like they are, I'm going to take a little heat on that. JP Morgan. Of course, monthly, weekly, daily up. Kind of, what's crazy about JP Morgan, we were talking about this yesterday, it's still inside of this daily bar right here, 11.6, post-election. This is all inside of this bar here. As crazy as that sounds, it is. So, you know, I mean, we've been working along here, but today, this morning, it's not having a good day right now with the market being down a little bit. So I want to be a little careful with that one. But it's not, you know, bullish, right? But, you know, inside bar on the dailies. Right? So, you know, maybe deeper correction would be pending, but it's still going to be a tough short because you can easily just get grinded and faded out. So I love JP Morgan, but it's in a weird spot. It's up, it's chilling up here, right? It's chilling up here, but, you know, just inside bar. Just be careful with it on daily. Well, it sifts through what it wants to do. All right, so you can see these Q puts. You know, they are working out a little bit here if you want to scale out of some, all right, which I'll do. So you can scale out a little some of these puts. Positive GEX on SPX has let me know that this drop might not be too insane, but as always, so I just took some off here, got 228 fill. All right, I'm going for 230, 220s. Right. So yeah, just took a little profit on that. This is where I bought the put right here, and then I just took some off here. You know, kind of a TP1. NQ, like some kind of demand. Yep, we're just kind of back at yesterday's kind of just junk. So this is a high quality level? No. I mean, it's just kind of, you know, is market's just going to calm down and, you know, not break any new lows and just kind of settle, you know, in this little gunk down in here. All right, so what did I already do right? I TP'd a little bit TP'd, right? So if QQQ's and, you know, NASDAQ gets down to here, I'm going to be what? Buying a cover. I'm going to be buying a cover. All right, Google equal to new low, TP some more here on Google. All right, from 179 to $4. Let me grab this $4. And wow, perfect. That's exactly what I got for it. All right, still in this, but just reducing my size and exposure. Going for 415 now. FedEx. And NVIDIA. I'm gonna take a loss on earnings. I had a not so great earnings season. It's like 2 seasons in a row that is not great. All right, Google's the weakest FANG stock, and you know we're short that, so good. All right, QQQs, new low, TP sum. All right, TP sum there, nice little bump. All right, I got a 316. I'm sorry, 314. That happened quick. All right, NASDAQ futures. Liquidate some. Trade station down. Uh-oh, I'll be back. All right, cool. That's my time, folks. What I'm looking to do too is I wanted to do it this week, but I got too caught up with some conference calls here and there that was not really as planned as what I was planned last week. The point that I'm trying to make is I'm looking to go do this on Twitch, where I'm gonna have another monitor where it's gonna be. Well, anyways, I digress. So I'm gonna have. I'm just gonna go to Twitch, and I'm gonna. What I'm thinking is I'm gonna have kind of like the SPYs, Qs, SPX, ES, so S&P futures, NASDAQ futures, SPYs, Qs, and SPX, and then have the GEX bot stream here. So like on one side, I'm gonna have GEX, okay, and on the other, I'm gonna have the markets and price. All right, with a hyper focus on S&P, NASDAQ futures, Qs, SPYs, and SPX, stock and options. Right, and just do it, just rip tape, I wanted to see if I could do it today. I might just do a test on it today. But I don't want to make any promises. But for sure, I know next week is going to be a shortened week. But yeah, going into December, definitely I want to be starting to do that, right? And so even like a day like today, where we're done here, I'll just go over to Twitch and we can just Twitch out on Twitch. Yeah, like I'll take small questions here and there, but I'm just going to be focusing just on this. Like right now, like we just had a new low. So right now, TP some Qs. Right? All right, so I got a 304 fill. And TP some more. Nice little drop there, right? So get that. And that move quick. This is a bad fill on that. This is like TP3 or 4 or whatever now, right? Okay. All right, cool. Hopefully y'all doing good here. And yeah, that's the liquidity map in action. All right, now for the day, we're in quadrant 1 and 4. So, you know, sell short rallies up into supply and then buy to cover equal to new lows. Quadrant 1 entry, sell short to enter. Quadrant 1, buy to cover quadrant number 4, equal to new lows. All right, hopefully y'all didn't get scared out of that little rally up there, right? You had to give it a little time and space, back below VWAP, and then now new low, TP. All right, I gotta grab these 330s because my entries are terrible. I mean, my exits are not great because I'm getting it too late. All right, I got a 321. All right, just unloading size. Google, new low, TP. Damn, Google's down to 5% handle. How to know to get short? Red bar, green bar, view up in 20 EMA. Buy, take some profit on this Google here. All right, I'm gonna go, folks. Catch up on the flip side. NVIDIA's probably gonna be a loss, man. So that's annoying. That's annoying. Unbreak my heart. Say you love me again. The video is never the same since it split. It's never been the same. All right, folks, trade safe. Markets are a little wild. Fangs all over the place. Some stocks at highs, some stocks not. Crypto on fire. Oh, I was looking at coin today too. Did I miss coin? Okay, didn't miss much there. What was the other one? Hood. Trash today. So it's all BITO, MSTR. IBIT. All right, folks, that's it for me for right now. Yeah, if this kind of floats your boat and you're like new here and you're like, where do I learn more about this? Go to TradePhantoms.com. Click that register button there. Then you will get sent to this page. Put your name, email, all that kind of good stuff tonight, being Thursday, November 21, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 90-minute class, give or take, hosted by Mr. Green, Mr. Black. Sometimes both of them are in there doing it together. And then here's an agenda of what you can learn, right? You can read that, but not just day trading, swing trading, long-term trading, scalping, just scalping a little bit of cues. Big accounts, small accounts don't matter. Up, down, sideways, all assets, stock, futures, forex, options, even crypto, right? So yeah, one-stop shop for everything here. If you like it, great. If not, that's cool as well. All right, I'm still gonna be here ripping tape and trading, taking my losses as they come and taking my gains as they come, and keeping my P&L curve cumulatively higher. All right, I'm gonna draw down right now, especially if NVIDIA is not going to pay. So right now I'm in a drawdown in the accounts, right? So we'll see. All right, folks, God bless, take care, trade safe. I'll see some of y'all later for class on the Thursdays. And that being said, take care.